What if the only way to make her regret losing you is to stop caring if she does? What if the more you ignore her, the more she feels it? See, most men get it all wrong. They think chasing, pleading, and proving their worth will bring her back. Nope, that only confirms what she already believes, that she's in control, that she's the prize, that you need her. But the moment you truly stop, everything shifts. Think about it. When was the last time you truly missed someone? It wasn't when they were constantly available, constantly seeking your attention. It was when they disappeared, when their silence made you wonder, when you started questioning if they ever really needed you at all. And that's the key. She expects pain. She expects you to beg. She expects you to break, because that's what most men do. But when you do nothing, when you vanish like she never mattered, it on her silence is power. Absence creates doubt, and doubt is the seed that grows into regret. She might have been certain, when she left, certain that you'd always be there, certain that if she wanted she could come back. But the moment you stop feeding her ego, the moment she realizes that she's not as important as she thought, her certainty crumbles. And that's when everything changes. This is where you make a choice. Will you let heartbreak define you? Will you waste your time chasing someone who has already walked away? Or will you become the man she never saw coming? A man so composed, so unbothered, that she starts questioning herself instead. Because here's the truth. The strongest position in any relationship, in any situation, is the one of least attachment. The one who is least affected, who is least emotionally invested, wins. That's why the more you ignore her, the more she feels it, because people don't value what's given freely. They value what they have to work for. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to reclaim your power using principles from Stoicism and dark psychology. Step by step, you'll learn how to detach, how to rebuild, and how to make her feel your absence like a ghost she can't shake. And by the end of this, you won't just be stronger, you'll be untouchable if you're done suffering. If you're ready to become someone she regrets losing, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I control my emotions, they do not control me. Now let's begin. Number 1. The power of absence. The power of absence. The more you ignore her, the more she feels it. Why? Because human nature is built on contrast. We only start to appreciate things when they're gone. Think about the air you breathe. You don't notice it until you're underwater, gasping for it. Attention works the same way. As long as she knows you're there waiting, she doesn't have to think about you. But the second you disappear, the second your presence fades into silence, she feels it like a missing piece she didn't realize was holding her together right now. She assumes she has you on standby. She believes that if she ever wanted, she could reach out and you'd come running. That certainty makes you boring. It makes you predictable, and predictability kills attraction. But when you step back, when you cut off the supply of attention she took for granted, something shifts. Suddenly there's a void, and the human mind hates voids. It rushes to fill them with questions, with doubts, with regret. Did she make the right decision? Why hasn't he tried to reach out? Did he move on that fast? Was I wrong about him? The moment you stop feeding here, go. She starts to wonder if she misjudged you. And that right there is the beginning of her losing control. Absence is powerful because it creates scarcity, and scarcity creates value. This is why luxury brands limit their products. Why do you think a Rolex is worth more than a regular watch? Not because it tells time better, but because it's rare. Because not everyone can have it. The same rule applies to you. If you're too available, too easy to reach, you lose your value. But the moment you become scarce, she starts seeing you differently. This is why the first step to making her feel your absence is complete and total silence. No text, no calls, no watching her stories, no liking her posts. You vanish, and when you do, she'll feel that shift like a knife. Because for the first time she has to deal with the reality where you're not there. And let me tell you something, she will notice. She might act like she doesn't care. She might post. She might laugh. She might even try to make it look like she's moved on. But inside, in the quiet moments, when no one is watching, she'll feel it. She'll check her phone expecting a message that never comes. She'll glance at her notifications looking for your name, and with every day that passes, insolence, she'll wonder more and more, did I lose him for good? That's when their regret begins. If you're done being taken for granted, if you're ready to make your absence felt, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. My silence speaks louder than 2. Indifference is the ultimate power. Move words number 2. Indifference is the ultimate power move. Nothing makes a person rethink their choices faster than indifference, not anger, not sadness, not even silence. True power, true dominance. That comes from acting like you don't care at all. See, emotion's a leverage. If you react, she knows she still has an effect on you. If you lash out, if you try to make her jealous, if you overanalyze, every little thing she does online you loathe because that tells her one thing: you're still emotionally invested, and the one who is most invested is the one who has the least power. But when you give her nothing, no reaction, no response, no validation, that's when she starts to panic, because now she doesn't know where she stands. She expected you to chase, she expected you to be affected, and now, suddenly she's the one feeling unbalanced. Here's a brutal truth. When someone knows they can have you anytime they want, they don't value you, but when you make them question that certainty, everything changes. This is why indifference is the ultimate power move. When you stop showing her she matters, she starts wondering why. She'll look for signs that you're struggling without her, and when she finds nothing, that's when she starts feeling the loss. Think about it. How do people react when they lose something important? They try to find it, they try to fix it. But when they realize it might actually be gone, that's when the desperation kicks in. And that's exactly what happens when you master indifference. You don't ignore her to get her back. You ignore her because you don't need her back. And that shift in energy, that's what makes her obsessed. She'll test you. She'll throw out little breadcrumbs to see if you bite a random like, a subtle story post, a message that means nothing but is meant to poke at. You don't fall for it every time you act. You reset the game. Every time you engage, you show her she still has power over you. So you do nothing, you stay cold. You show her that she is now irrelevant, and that right there is what makes her rethink everything. If you're done reacting, if you're ready to take your power back, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I owe nothing to the 3. You were never chasing her. You were chasing validation. Pass number 3, you were never chasing her. You were chasing validation. Let's be real for a second. Was it ever really her that you wanted, or was it how she made you feel? Was it the thrill of being chosen, the rush of being desired, the validation of knowing that someone wanted you? Most men don't realize this until it's too late. They think they're heartbroken over her, but what they're really mourning is the way she made them feel about themselves. And that is the trap. Because if you don't recognize it, you'll keep chasing. Not because she's special, but because you're addicted to the feeling of being enough. Here's the brutal truth. If you truly loved her, you would have loved yourself first. But what happened? You gave her the power to define your worth. You let her approval dictate how you saw yourself. In the moment she pulled away, you felt empty. Not because she was the only woman for you, but because without her validation, you don't know how to validate yourself. That ends today. You were never chasing her. You were chasing the illusion that you needed her to feel whole. But let me ask you this. What happens when you stop? What happens when you decide that you don't need anyone's approval to feel valuable? That's when everything shifts. Because now, instead of chasing external validation, you start building internal validation. You stop looking at her as a source of happiness and start looking within. And when that happens, you become untouchable. Because here's what most people never tell you. Women are drawn to men who don't need them. Not because they want to be ignored, but because self-sufficiency is attractive. A man who doesn't need her attention, her approval, or her presence to feel complete, that's the man she can't stop thinking about. So stop chasing the high of being chosen. Stop seeking validation outside of yourself. The moment you realize that the only person who ever needed to approve of you was you, you break free from the cycle. And here's the kicker. The moment you stop needing her validation, she starts needing yours. If you're done looking outside yourself for worth, if you're ready to be your own source of validation, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I validate myself. No one else has that power. Number 4, the Stoic mindset. Detach or be destroyed. Stoic mindset, detach or be destroyed. There are only 2 choices in heartbreak. Detach or be destroyed. You can either let this break You let it consume your thoughts, let it make you desperate and weak, or you can take this pain and use it as fuel to become something greater. See, Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions, it's about mastering them. It's about understanding one simple truth: you do not control other people. You only control yourself, and that's where most men fail. They waste time overanalyzing her actions, dissecting her words, obsessing over whether she's moved on. Nope, that's the path of destruction. That's the path of weakness, because every second you spend focus on her ice a second, you're not building. You, a Stoic man, does not chase, he does not beg. He does not need closure. Why? Because he knows that the only thing he controls is how he responds. Not what she does. She left fine. That's outside your control. What is in your control? Your response, your discipline, your growth. And here's the irony: when you master detachment, when you stop caring whether she regrets leaving or not, that's when she feels it the most, because you are no longer emotionally invested. You are no longer. Her detachment is freedom. Freedom from needing validation. Freedom from chasing answers. You don't need freedom from allowing someone else to control your emotions. So here's what you do. You stop watching her life from the sidelines. You stop checking her social media. You stop entertaining the idea of what could have been, because every moment spent dwelling on the past is a moment wasted on your future. You shift your focus entirely. You hit the gym. You build your skills. You create a life so fulfilling that whether she comes back or not doesn't even matter anymore, because you're already too far ahead. And that's when the real power shift happens, when she realizes that she no longer affects you. When she sees that you didn't just survive. Without her, you thrived. If you're ready to stop suffering, if you're ready to take full control of your mind, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I control my focus, and my focus is on 5. The reverse chase. Make her feel your absence. Number 5. The reverse chase. Make her feel your absence right now. She thinks she's won. She thinks you're sitting there suffering in silence, waiting for a chance to prove your worth. But what happens when the script flips? What happens when, instead of chasing her, she starts chasing you? See, most men make the mistake of thinking they have to do something to get her attention back. Nope. The real move is to do nothing, because when you disappear, when you show absolute disinterest, when you remove yourself from her world completely, Herman starts working against her. It starts with curiosity. At first she assumes you'll reach out when you don't. She notices, she tells herself it's temporary, but days go by, then weeks, and suddenly she's checking her phone, checking your socials, wondering why you haven't broken yet. Then curiosity turns into doubt. Was she wrong about you? Did she misjudge your value? Why aren't you reacting the way she expected? Her ego starts feeling the hit, and that's when she starts reaching small, subtle moves just to see if you'll bite a random, like a post that feels directed at you. Message that means nothing on the surface but is designed to get a reaction. And this is where most men fail, because the second you engage, the second you react, the chase resets. She gets her answer. You were just waiting for her to throw you a bone. But when you stay cold, when you act like she no longer even exists, that's when the fear kicks in, because now she doesn't just miss you, she starts wondering if she ever had you. All she starts chasing the validation that she once took for granted, and the more she reaches, the more you pull away, the more powerful you become in her mind. This is the reverse chase. This is the point where she starts regretting, questioning, and doubting herself, not you. But it only works if you have the discipline to not react. So what do? You keep moving forward. You keep building. You don't check her posts. You don't acknowledge her breadcrumbs. You don't give her a single sign that she still matters. And trust me, when she realizes that you're gone for real, that's when she starts feeling it the most. If you're ready to stop chasing and start being chased, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I am the prize and I do 6. How to kill her curiosity. The silent mystery, not chase. Number 6. How to kill her curiosity. The silent mystery, curiosity, is a powerful thing. It drives people mad when they can't figure something out. And right now she expects to know exactly what's going on with you. She expects to see hints of your pain. She expects to see signs that you're still affected. But what happens when you give her nothing? No social media updates, no cryptic posts, No sudden guy selfies trying to prove a point, just silence. That's when her curiosity turns into obsession. See, most guys do the opposite. They make it too easy. They post motivational quotes about moving on, while secretly hoping she sees them. They watch all her stories, leaving a trail of desperation. They make sure she knows they're still paying attention, and guess what? That only kills the mystery. That only confirms what she already believes, that she still has control over your mind. But when you vanish, when she can't figure out what you're thinking, that's when her mind starts working against her. She checks your profile, nothing. She asks mutual friends about you, no updates. She waits for you to slip up to post something that gives her a clue, but you never do. And that is what makes her spiral, because now you're no longer predictable. Now she has to fill in the blanks herself, and the human brain hates an unfinished story. So what does it do? It starts assuming the worst. Did he replace me already? Is he really that unbothered? Was I not as important as I thought? And when a woman starts asking herself these questions, the power shifts completely. This is why silence is louder than any words you could ever say. This is why mystery is more powerful than attention. When you become an unknown variable, when she can't place you, when she can't read you, she starts feeling the void of your absence, and that's when she starts looking for answers. If you're ready to make her feel your absence like a ghost, she can't shake. Hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment. Below. My silence creates power. 7. Emotional mastery. Never let them see you. Sweat. Number 7. Emotional mastery. Never let them see you sweat. The moment you let your emotions control you, you lose it. Doesn't matter how much progress you've made, how strong you think you are, if she sees you crack, if she sees even one sign of weakness, she knows she still has power over you. And that's the one thing you can never allow. Because here's the truth. She will test you. She'll do things just to see if you react. She might post something meant to get under your skin. She might randomly reach out just to see if you'll take the bait. She might pretend like she's moved on just to trigger a response, but you stay unshaken. See, emotional control is lethal. It makes people uncomfortable when they can't read you, when they expect a reaction and get nothing. It rattles them, because now they are the ones feeling uncertain. They are the ones wondering what's going on in your mind. And that's when the power shift happens. Think about it. Who truly holds power in any situation? The one who reacts, or the one who stays composed no matter what happens? It's always the one who remains calm, the one who chooses his response, instead of being controlled by impulse. So from this point forward, you operate from a position of absolute emotional mastery. No anger, no frustration, no sadness. If she texts you, you take your time, or you don't respond at all. If she tries to make you jealous, you act like you didn't even notice. If she tries to spark an argument, you refuse to engage. Because the second you show that nothing she does affects you anymore, she starts to feel it. She starts to realize that the version of you she once knew, the one who cared too much, the one who needed her validation, is gone. And that is when regret begins to creep in, because now she's dealing with a man who is untouchable, a man who no longer reacts, a man who no longer needs her. If you're ready to become immune to mind games, if you're done, let emotions control you, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. My emotions serve me, I do not serve. The cold shoulder. How to handle seeing her again. Number 8. The cold shoulder. How to handle seeing her again. At some point, you're going to see her again. It could be by accident. It could be because she wants to cross paths with you. Either way, this is your moment. This is where you show her without saying a word that you're not the same man she left behind. Most guys mess this up. They overcompensate. They try to act too happy, too unaffected, too flashy, hoping she'll notice. Nope, that's a dead giveaway that you're still thinking about her, and she'll see right through it. Instead, you give her the cold shoulder, not in a way that looks bitter or forced, but in a way that says, you are no longer significant enough to affect me. Here's how you do it. If she looks at you, you acknowledge her presence with absolute neutrality, not excitement, not hostility, just an indifferent glance, as if she's just another person in the room. If she tries to make conversation, keep it brief and unemotional. No deep talks, no reminiscing, no giving her the satisfaction of knowing you still care. If she asks how you're doing, don't try to impress her, just say, I'm good. Nothing more, no need to. Explain, no need to flex. The less you say, the more powerful you appear. What you're doing here is forcing her to feel the weight of your absence, not through avoidance but through emotional distance. You're showing her that she no longer has access to the man she once knew, and that's what stings the most, because now instead of feeling like she can come back whenever she wants, she starts questioning whether she ever even mattered to you at all. She starts to feel replaced not by another woman but by a version of you that is completely beyond her reach. That's the real win, not revenge, not trying to make her jealous, just being so unbothered that she realizes she lost something she can never get back. If you're done giving your energy to the past, if you're ready to make her feel the true weight of losing you, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I am out of reach. Number 9. The rebirth. Becoming a man. She can't reach anymore. 9. The rebirth. Becoming a man. She can't reach anymore. There comes a point in this journey where you stop caring about her entirely, not because you're pretending, not because you're forcing it, but because you've outgrown her. This is the rebirth, the moment where you step into a version of yourself that she can no longer access, a version so evolved, so focused, so unbothered, that even if she wanted to come back, she couldn't because you're no longer in the same league. See, most men waste their time trying to win the breakup, trying to make her regret, trying to prove something. Nope, that's small thinking there, I'll win. It's when she becomes completely irrelevant to your life. Because the truth is she was never the prize you were, and the fact that she couldn't see that's her loss. So what does this rebirth look like? You become so focused on your goals that thoughts of her don't even cross your mind. You level up physically, mentally, financially, so much that if she saw you now, she wouldn't even recognize the man. She walked away from you, stopped seeking validation from anyone, because you've built an unshakable sense of self-worth from within. And here's where the irony kicks in. The moment you reach this level, the moment you stop wanting her to regret leaving, is the moment she actually does, because now she's not dealing with the guy she left. She's dealing with a man she can never get back. That's what truly haunts people, not losing someone, but realizing they lost someone who became untouchable, and you don't even care anymore because the person you've become, the life you've built, it's too good to waste on the past. If you're ready to step into your next level, if you're ready to become someone she can never reach again, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications. 10. The final lesson. You never needed her anyway. And comment below, I am untouchable. Number 10. The final lesson. You never needed her anyway. Here's the truth you didn't want to face at the beginning of this journey. You never needed her, not then, not now, not ever. You thought you did. You convinced yourself that she completed you, that she was the missing piece, but that was a lie. One you told yourself because you hadn't yet realized your own power. Look at where you are now. Look at how far you've come. The pain it once felt unbearable, it's gone then. Eat for her validation, it no longer exists. The attachment that kept you trapped, shattered. And the best part, you did this. You built yourself back up. You turned heartbreak into fuel. You transformed into a man who doesn't just survive without her. He thrives now. Think about her. Do you honestly believe she's grown the way you have? Do you think she's evolved the way you have? Nope, because people who walk away thinking they have the upper hand rarely do the work to improve. They stay stuck in their patterns. They assume the world revolves around them. But you broke free. You stopped playing the game, and now you're untouchable. She might come back. She might try to test the waters. She might reach out just to see if there's still a version of you that she can control, but there won't be. That man is gone. And now she's just another name in your past, one that no longer carries weight. This is the final lesson. You never needed her. She was just a chapter, not the story, and now you write your own story. If you've made it this far, if you've fully embraced your power, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I was always enough. This is Stoicism strategy. Stay strong, stay untouchable. Shorts.